Hello students and welcome to this new video. This is our fourth revision video and this is our last revision video also, because in this video we will complete our syllabus, which is comprising of 3 chapters for your online assessment. Your online assessment will be having 3 chapters, which is going to start maybe next week probably. Okay, you will be having 3 chapters in your syllabus. We have already completed those 3 chapters and now we are revising these 3 chapters. So in the previous 3 revision videos which we have uploaded, we have already revised 2 full chapters, first chapter and the second chapter, and in the previous third video, video number 3, which we had uploaded yesterday, I have revised half of the chapter number 3 also. Now in this video I am going to complete the second half of chapter number 3, and today we will complete our syllabus revision. Okay, this chapter number 3 is about TuxPaint, which is a very popular drawing software, which is very popular among children. It is very creative software. It is free to use. It doesn't have any fee. You don't have to buy or purchase the license for that. It is having various tools and effects using which you can create. You can be very creative, and children can create a lot of things, a lot of drawings, a lot of paintings, a lot of creatures, a lot of things they can create by using this TuxPaint software. Okay, it is very similar to the Paint, but it is having much more options which are not available in MS Paint. Okay, many of the options which are not available in MS Paint, these are also available in by using this TuxPaint software. That is why it is very unique software. It is very popular among children also. Okay, so in the previous video we had discussed up till blur magic effect. This blur magic effect was an effect of the magic tool. Okay, now we are going to continue the chapter. The next topic which we are going to study is using grass effect. Okay, grass effect is also an effect of the magic tool only. Okay, first of all, for using this grass effect, we have to select the magic tool from the left hand side toolbox. I will again revise this with you. See, on the left hand side of the window we are having the main toolbox. Okay, it is a vertical bar. The toolbox is a vertical box or a vertical bar. It is having different tools. Okay, and on the right hand side we have the sub toolbox. So whatever option we will select in the toolbox on the left hand side, the right hand side sub toolbox will show various options which are available for that selected tool. Whatever tool is selected in the left hand side, the right hand side toolbox will show you the different options which are available for that particular selected tool. So here for using this for applying this grass effect, first of all, because it is an effect of the magic tool only, so first of all we have to click the magic tool. What it is used for? It is used to give grass effect in a drawing. It is very clear from the name itself that the grass effect is used to create the effect of grass in a drawing. Okay, how you will do that? First of all, click the magic tool and select the grass effect from the sub toolbox. Okay, because the grass effect is a sub tool of the magic tool, so you have to select the grass effect from the sub toolbox. Okay, then the next step, select green color from the colors palette. Okay, after you have selected the green color from the colors palette, then what is the next step? Now we can draw some grass by clicking on the canvas. Now after selecting the color from the palette, wherever you click on the canvas, there the grass will be automatically be drawn. So this is the advantage of using this grass effect. You don't have to move the mouse here and there for drawing the grass. Okay, just by using this grass effect sub tool, you can just click on the canvas. Canvas means the drawing area where you are making the drawing. You can just click anywhere, and wherever you click, the grass will be drawn. Okay, wherever you click on the canvas means the drawing area here. Wherever you click on the drawing area, whatever portion, and that portion, the grass will be automatically drawn. So this is the advantage of using this grass effect tool. Now the next tool is the fill tool. Okay, we will study how we can use the fill tool. Now this fill tool is used to fill color in an object. It is very clear from the name itself. Fill color means what? The color which is filled inside the boundaries or the outline of any object. Okay, that is the fill color. What are the steps for using this fill tool? The magic tool, because this is also a sub tool of the magic tool. So first of all, you have to select the magic tool for using the fill tool. If the magic tool is already selected, then first step is already done. Now we have to move on to the second step. If the magic tool was not selected, then first of all, select the magic tool from the left hand side toolbox. Okay, then select the fill tool from the left hand side box. Okay, from the left hand side sub tool, from the right hand side sub toolbox, you have to select the fill tool. Okay, the fill tool option is there on the right hand side. Okay, and then choose blue color from the colors palette. You have to choose blue color from the colors palette. Why? Because because we want to fill blue color in the outline of the river. Here in the scenery, we have drawn a river by using the blue color lines. So here now what we are going to do, we are going to use the fill tool for filling the color, for filling the blue color in this river. Okay, now you can see here. Now what will happen? We all know that when we select the magic tool, then the cursor changes to the magic wand. Okay, the cursor or the pointer changes to the magic wand. Okay, so now you have to bring the magic wand over the river. Okay, bring the magic wand over the river where you have drawn the river. You have to bring the magic wand over that and just click on it. Okay, as soon as you click on that river portion, then what will happen? That river object will be filled, the blue color will be filled in the river. Okay, the river which was previously, it was an outline only. You can see here it was just an outline. As soon as you click within this river, then this river object will be filled with the blue color. Okay, similarly you can select brown color for coloring the mountains. You can select the brown color and click on the mountains to fill the brown color in them. Okay, likewise you can also fill yellow color in the sun and red color in the roof of the hut. Okay, so in this way you can fill in whatever portion you want, whatever color you want. You can always fill that color in the portion by just selecting that, by using the fill tool, by first of all selecting the magic tool, then selecting the fill tool, and then selecting some color, and then clicking on that portion to fill that color in the selected portion. Okay, now we'll see how we can use the flower tool. The flower tool is our next tool. Okay, now it is a ready-made option to draw flowers on the canvas. It is a ready-made option which is used for drawing flowers on the canvas. Okay, if you want to draw flowers on the canvas, then we don't have to move the mouse here and there for tracing the drawing. Okay, you don't have to trace the drawing of the flower on the drawing area. Okay, you can just, by using this tool, you can just click anywhere and the flowers will automatically be drawn. So you can see that these tools are providing us with a lot of flexibility. They are providing us with a lot of facility to draw these objects without any difficulty. If you had to draw these objects using the mouse, then it would take a lot of time, isn't it? Because we have to trace the structure of we have to trace the drawing of every object with the mouse for drawing that, isn't it? But because we are using these tools, so it is very easier for us to draw these objects on the screen, on the drawing area by using these different tools. That is why it is very easy. It is very creative to work in the Tux Paint. Okay, Tux Paint is a very easy software to work with. Now we will see how we can use the flower tool. What are the steps for using the flower tool? First of all, click the flower tool, which is a subtool of the magic tool. Okay, the subtool is also a subtool of the magic tool. So first of all, you will select the magic tool. If it is not selected, then second step is to click on the flower tool. The flower tool will be there on the right hand side subtool box. You can see this in this figure also it is shown. Okay, after this, the next step will be to select the red color from the colors palette. Okay, from the colors palette at the bottom hand side, you will select the red color. Okay, because we want to draw the flowers which are having red petals. Okay, now bring the magic wand over the grass. Okay, the magic wand, which is the cursor, after you have selected the magic tool, the cursor changes to the magic wand. So you will bring the magic wand cursor over the grass. In other words, you will bring the magic wand pointer over the grass, because you want to draw the flowers in the grass portion. Okay, you want to draw the flowers where the grass is there. Okay, it should look like the field is covered with grass, and in between them, in between the grass, the flowers are also blossoming somewhere. Okay, that is why we will bring the magic wand over the grass, and then wherever we want to draw the flowers, we will keep on clicking there. Okay, like for example, if you want to draw the flower at one portion, at one position, then you will click on that point. Okay, at whatever point you click, at that point the flower will be drawn. Okay, then again second time you click somewhere, at that position the flower will be inserted, the flower will be drawn, and third time again you click somewhere, at that place the flowers will be drawn. So you can keep on clicking on the grass area to add as many flowers as we want. The number of times, as many times we will click on the grass area, the number of flowers will be drawn by using the flower tool. So you can keep on clicking on the grass area for adding more flowers. Okay, likewise we can select different colors to add colorful flowers on the grass. If you want to have more than one flowers of more than one color, then that can also be done. How it can be done? By selecting any different color. Okay, now if you are done with the red color, then you can choose some other color also, and you can draw flowers of some different color also in the grass portion. Okay, using this flower tool, you can draw different colors of flowers of different colors in different portions of your scenery. Now we come on to the stamp tool. Okay, what is the stamp tool? It is a simple tool used to put a stamp and add images in your drawing. Okay, TuxPaint already has some inbuilt stamps. Okay, stamp is always used for verifying or authentic or establishing some authority or some verification. Stamp is always done to verify that this is the authentic image, or this is authentic quantity, or this is some authentic item. Like for example, you are using postage stamps. Postage stamps are used. Why? Because these postage stamps tell us that the duty for the, or the charges for the for posting the letter have been paid, and this letter is now eligible to be posted and to be sent somewhere by using the postal vans or some postal means. Okay, similarly, stamps are always used for verifying something, for verifying some authority. Okay, so we always used to put some stamp, okay, for verification purposes, for establishing the authenticity of the creator. And if the user wants to, if the creator wants to put his stamp, then he can put his stamp. What will the stamp do? The stamp will tell that this particular picture was created by some particular person. Okay, it was not created by somebody else. That is why these stamp tools are used. Okay, so you can simply put a stamp on your drawing also. Okay, stamps could be very simple also. You can also add images also in the form of stamps. Okay, stamp doesn't mean that you have to create a very complicated stamp. Okay, TuxPaint already has some inbuilt stamp also. Some inbuilt stamps are also inbuilt over there. So stamps are simply images. Okay, additional stamps can be downloaded from the following website, from the website of TuxPaint, www.tuxpaint.org/download/windows. From there also you can use you can download some additional stamps. Okay, further select the link TuxPaint stamp win32 installer.exe. Okay, because you have to install the stamps also. Okay, after installing the stamps file, we can see various categories of stamps in the sub toolbox. See, these stamps will not be visible if you haven't installed these stamps. Okay, these stamps will be visible only after you have installed these stamps after downloading it from the website. Okay, so what you are going to do after you have installed the stamps file, you can see that now these stamps will now be visible in the sub toolbox on the right hand side. Okay, we can see various categories of stamps options which are available in the sub toolbox on the right hand side. Now what you will do, you will click on the stamp tool. For using the stamp, first of all, we have to click on the stamp tool. Where is the stamp tool? The stamp tool is located at the top of the toolbox on the left hand side. Okay, you will click on the stamp tool as shown in the figure here. Then choose any one stamp from the sub toolbox. Okay, any one stamp could be chosen from the sub toolbox. Available stamps will be shown in the sub toolbox. You have to select any one available toolbox. You have to select any one available stamp from the sub toolbox. For more stamps, click the right or left button, arrow buttons. Okay, and then select the. For example, here we are selecting the cork stamp. Okay, here we are selecting the cork stamp. Okay, you can also increase and decrease the size of the stamp by using the slope bar. Okay, the slope bar is located just above the colors palette. Just above the colors palette is located the slope bar. You can see here the slope bar is given. Can be seen here. It is just at the near the right hand side boundary. At the bottom you can see the slope bar is there. Okay, this slope bar is used for increasing and decreasing the size of the stamp. Okay, using the slope bar just above the colors palette in the sub toolbox. Okay, now what we will do, now click on the canvas and the stamp will be pasted. As soon as you click on the canvas, whatever stamp we have selected, whatever size we have chosen, the stamp will be pasted on the canvas with that particular selected size. Okay, likewise you can select the heart stamp also and paste it on the canvas. Okay, these stamps are images, various predefined images which you can use. Okay, so I have previously in the video I have told you about a general sense of a stamp. Okay, it doesn't mean that if you are inserting a stamp that will only be for authority purpose or for some verification purpose, because stamps in general sense, they are used for authenticating something. They are used for verifying or establishing some authority. Okay, so here you are using a stamp. You can use it not for some very complicated or very serious purpose, but you can also use it as a creative means of adding some images. You can use these stamps for beautifying your image actually. Okay, the stamp which I have told you earlier was the general meaning of the stamp. It was a general sense and significance of the using a stamp. Okay, here stamps are used generally, they are very small images. They are images which can be inserted into your image for it to make it more interesting. Okay, using these stamps you can make your image more creative and more interesting. Okay, So the significance of stamp is not very of that much, but it is related to only images. Okay, these are simple images, and what we can do with the help of these images, you can make your image more interesting. Okay. Now we can also use the mirror image of the selected stamp by choosing the mirror option below the right and the left arrow keys in the sub toolbox. Okay, we can also use the mirror image of the selected stamp. Okay, mirror image can be used. How it can be used? Mirror image means more a duplicate image. Okay, a duplicate inverted image. What is a mirror image? A mirror image is like a duplicate image, and it is in the inverted direction. Okay, like here you can see the original image in the of the cock is looking towards the right hand side. Okay, and the mirror image, which is a small and the duplicated image of the original image, it is looking towards the opposite direction. It is looking towards the left hand side. So the mirror image is the opposite image of the original image. Okay. So how we can use the mirror image or the selected image? By choosing the mirror option below the right and the left arrow keys in the sub toolbox. You see the mirror image option is given in the sub toolbox at the bottom. So using this, you can also create the mirror image of your stamp. Okay. Now click the mirror button. You will click the mirror button, and you will place the selected stamp besides the previous stamp. Okay, you can also adjust the size of the stamp by using the slope bar, and you can place the selected stamp besides the previous stamp. Okay, whatever stamp whatever mirror image you have selected of your stamp, that also you can paste in a similar manner besides your previous stamp. Okay, now just by clicking, you can paste the copy of the stamp, the mirror copy, the mirror image of the stamp. You can also paste it in a similar manner by clicking on the canvas. Now we'll come on to the pattern brush shapes. Okay, what are pattern brush shapes? The Tux Paint gives us an option to draw beautiful patterns by using the paint tool. Okay, we can select any of the pattern shapes from the sub tool box. Okay, using these pattern brush shapes, what we can do, we can draw beautiful patterns, like we can draw a tree also. Okay, we can draw a tree like pattern also by using the pattern brushes. Okay, we can say by using the pattern brush shapes, we can draw very beautiful patterns by using the paint tool. So these pattern brush shapes are used along with the paint tool. Okay, we can select any of the pattern shapes from the sub toolbox. Okay, so what are the steps for drawing for using the pattern brush shapes? First of all, we have to select the paint tool, because these options are available with the paint tool only. So first of all, select the paint tool from the left hand side toolbox. Then you will see the brushes sub toolbox on the right hand side. As soon as you choose paint tool from on the left hand side, you will see the brushes sub toolbox on the right hand side. This we have seen in the previous video also, that these brushes are available only when you choose the paint tool. Okay, these brushes will be available in the sub toolbox as soon as you choose the paint tool on the left hand side. Okay, now from the right hand side sub toolbox, what we will do, we will select the filled circle shape. Okay, different shapes are given on the sub toolbox. What you will select? We will select the filled circle shape. Okay, and choose brown color from the palette. What we will do, we will first choose the filled circle shape, and then we will choose brown color from the color palette. Then we will draw the stem of a tree. Using this, we will draw the stem of a tree. Then we will scroll down and select the vine shape. Okay, the vine shape is also given in the sub toolbox. We will select the vine shape, and then we will select the green color from the colors palette. Okay, select the vine shape and then select the colors palette select the green color from the colors palette. Then what will happen? We will move the pointer to the drawing area and draw the leaves by clicking the stem. Okay, we can move the pointer to the drawing area and draw the leaves by clicking the stem. Okay, how will you draw the leaves? Just we have to click wherever you want to draw the leaves. You have to click on the stem, and the leaves will be drawn there. Okay, first of all, we will draw the stem, and then by choosing the vine shape and the green color from the palette, we will move the pointer to the drawing area and draw the leaves by clicking repeatedly. Okay, wherever you want to draw the leaves, you will click on that portion, and the leaves will be drawn around the stem. Okay, so now in this way you will see a beautiful tree will be created as shown in this figure. Similarly, you can select other brush shapes, and you can see how many different patterns you can draw. Okay, you can also add more colors by clicking on the last option of the colors palette. See, the colors palette is having a more option. Okay, using this more option, we can add more colors to the colors palette. Okay, after clicking it, the more color dialog box will appear. What you will do then? We can select any color of your choice and click the back button to go back to the main screen and use the selected color. So what will happen? More color dialog box will appear. As soon as you click on more, we will select any color of our choice which you want to add to the palette, and then we will click on back to go back to the screen, and then again we can use that selected color in our drawings and paintings. So pictures drawn in TuxPaint can be printed by using the print button present in the left toolbar. So left toolbar is also having a print option, using which the pictures which we have drawn, you can also get a hard copy of the pictures by printing them on the paper by using the print option available in the left toolbar. Okay. Now we come on to the lines tool. What is the lines tool? The lines tool is used to draw straight lines in straight patterns. Okay. It works quite similar to the paint tool. The lines tool has the same brush shapes in the sub toolbox as in the paint tool. So the paint tool and the line tool are both having the same brush shapes. Okay. What is the difference? The only difference between paint tool and lines tool is in the order in which the drawing is displayed. So they are having the difference in the order in which the drawing will be displayed. Okay. Rest apart from that, everything will be same. Both these tools, line tool and the paint tool, will be having same type of sub toolbox options. Okay, it will have the same brush options. It will have the same brush options in the sub toolbox as it is having as the paint tool is having. Okay, so the paint tool and the lines tool will be having the same brush options in the same brush shapes options in the sub toolbox. Okay, only difference is in the order in which the drawing will be displayed. Okay, you can click the new button, you can select the required background, and you can click on the open button given in the bottom left side of the canvas. Okay, now we will see how we can use the line tool here. Okay, while using the paint tool, we can see the image which we are drawing at the moment. On the other hand, while using lines tool, we will see only a straight line from the starting point to the ending point. Okay, so what is the difference? Like while using the paint tool, we are able to see the image also which we are drawing at the moment, but using the line tool, we can see only a straight line from the starting point to the ending point. Okay, we will not be able to see the full image. The pattern appears only after you complete the line and release the left mouse button. What does it mean? That by using the paint tool, we can see the full image which was being drawn, but while we are drawing using the line tool, we will see only a straight line which is being drawn currently. Okay, whatever line you are drawing, you will see only that straight line from the starting point to the ending point. Okay, the rest of the lines, the full pattern, the full figure which you are drawing, that will not be visible to you. Okay, that the pattern or the full figure will appear, that will be visible only after you have completed the line and release the left mouse button. So after we have completed the line and we have released the left mouse button, then we will be able to see the full pattern. Otherwise, we will be able to see only the straight line which is being drawn. Okay, after we have completed drawing the line, you will be able to see the pattern also. Okay, after releasing the mouse and drawing the line, you will be able to see the pattern, but before that, using line tool, we will not be able to see the full pattern. Okay, now let us see how we can draw a pattern by using the lines tool. First of all, select the lines tool and choose any pattern from the sub tool box. Okay, then draw a straight line as shown in the figure. Then when we release the left mouse button, we will get a straight pattern in the place of the line. Okay, first of all, we will select the line tool and draw and choose a pattern, and then what we will do after choosing that pattern, we will draw a straight line. Okay, and when we release the left mouse button, we will get a straight pattern in place of that line. Okay, whatever pattern we wanted to draw, after we have released the left mouse button, we will see that the selected pattern has now been drawn in the place of the line. We were drawing the line using the line tool, but actually what has been drawn? The pattern has been drawn in that place. Okay, and when will the pattern be seen? The pattern could be seen after we release the left mouse button. We will be able to see the pattern which will be drawn in the place of the line. Okay, if you draw an inclined line, then we will find an inclined pattern. If you draw a straight line, the pattern will also be straight. Okay, if you draw an inclined line, the pattern will also be inclined. Okay, in using this way, we can draw different types of patterns by using the line tool. Okay, a line tool has the same brush shapes in the sub tool box as in the paint tool. This we have already told you. Now saving a file, it is very simple. The TuxPaint provides an easy method to save our work. First, how we can save the files? By clicking on the save tool. Okay, by clicking on the save tool is also given on the left hand side in the toolbox. In the main toolbox on the left hand side, the save tool button is given. There is no need to mention the file name. Okay, there is no need to mention the file name. TuxPaint saves your file as a thumbnail rather than giving it a file name. So in other software, we have to supply a file name, we have to type a file name for saving the file. But this is not in the case of TuxPaint. In TuxPaint, if you want to save a file, it will not ask for a file name. Okay, TuxPaint will save our file as a thumbnail. What is a thumbnail? A thumbnail is a very short version of your image. A thumbnail is a very short, it is a very compressed size image of your original image. So it will create a thumbnail and it will save your file in the form of a thumbnail rather than giving it a file name. The Naughty Penguin confirms that you have successfully saved your file. The Naughty Penguin will display the message that it will confirm the message that it will give you the message that you have successfully saved a file. Now opening a saved file, how we can open? To open an already saved file, it is very simple. Click on the open tool. The open tool is also given in the left hand side toolbar. Then we will see all the images that have been saved in the TuxPaint up till date. Up till date means till that instant, whatever images we have saved in the TuxPaint, that all the images can be viewed by clicking on the open tool. Okay. Then click the image. In the next step, we will click the image that you want to open. After we have clicked on the open tool and the images have been displayed, then we have to select any particular image. Okay, we have to click on any particular image thumbnail that you want to open. As soon as we click on the thumbnail of the image, and then after that, as soon as we click on the image will be selected, the thumbnail will be selected. After that, we have to click on the open button to open that selected image. Okay. In this way, you can open any saved image file from your TuxPaint. Okay, you can. So some points to be noted are given over here. Okay, we can view all the saved files in the form of a slideshow by clicking the slides button. The slides button is also given over there. We can view all the saved files in the form of a slideshow. Okay, slideshow, all of you must be familiar with. Slideshow is used in PowerPoint presentations. So to present all the slides in the form of a slideshow. So here also we can view all the saved files, all the images in the form of a slideshow. All the images will be displayed in the form of a slideshow, one after the other. Okay, how they will be displayed, how they will be viewed? They will be viewed by clicking on the slides button. If you click on the slides button, then a slideshow will be displayed. All the images will be displayed in the form of a slideshow. Okay, then click on the play button to view the slideshow. If you want to view the slideshow, then what you will do? You have to click on the play button. Unless until you click on the play button, the slideshow will not start. Okay, the slideshow slide view shows every image in the form of a big slide. So every image which was very small previously, it will be shown in the big form of a big slide. Okay, at the bottom right side of the screen, you will find the back button. Okay, at the bottom right corner of the bottom right side of the screen, you will find the back button. This back button is used for going back to the previous window. Okay, if you click on the back button, then what will happen? You will go back to the previous window. Okay, so with this we complete this chapter. So I hope all of you must be aware of this, that in your online assessment only objective type questions will be asked, but these questions will be asked not only from the exercises but also from your within the chapter. Okay, so you must prepare all the important terms in the chapter, all the important definitions in the chapter. Okay, especially those points which are given in your notes, in your revision notes at the end of the chapter. At the end of every chapter, some notes or some points to revision points are given, some recap points are given. Like here also you can see some recap or revision of the chapter is given. Okay, so many questions can be asked from this recap portion also. Okay, and apart from the recap portion, some definitions may also be asked. Some terms which are given in your chapter, these terms and definitions can also be asked in the form of multiple choice questions. Okay, there will be 3 options. Your question will have one question in the form of fill in the blanks. Okay, and that fill in the blank question will be having 3 options. Okay, so you have to choose the correct option to fill in the blank. So you will be having only multiple choice questions in your exam. Descriptive questions, question answers and other type of questions will not come in your online assessment exam. Okay, so I hope it is very clear to all of you now how you have to prepare for your exam. Prepare all your questions at the end of your chapter also, which have been solved by your teacher. Your ma'am has already solved all the questions which were given at the back of the chapter. That also you must study. Along with that, you must also prepare all the recap points as well as all the terms and definitions in your chapter, which could be asked in the form of MCQs. So MCQs will come not only from your exercise questions, but they will also come from your within the chapter also. So I hope it is clear to all of you how you have to prepare for your exam. The date sheet and timetable will be provided to you before the start of your examination. It will inform to you, so don't worry about that. So with this I will end this video. All the best to all the students. May God bless you all of you do good in your exams. Okay, so till then I hope all of you do good in your exams. Study properly, work hard. Okay, thank you and goodbye.